Hello and welcome to another writing tutorial. Today we're going to be writing a story based on a picture, namely this one. So let's have a look at our picture first. So you can see here that it looks to me like an old roller coaster that spirals off into the distance, and you can see that it gets fainter and fainter as it goes further and further away. It also looks quite overgrown here, so lots of weeds and plants that have just been allowed to grow over the roller coaster. So I'm wondering if it's a sort of a roller coaster in an abandoned theme park or something like that. Right, our word of the day is murky, which means difficult to see through or foggy. And you can use the word murky to describe either the sea. So sometimes you might go swimming in the sea and it's a bit murky, it's a bit foggy, you can't see through it, particularly when the sand is all up in the sea. Or you might have days when it's a little bit trickier to see through the air because it's just a bit foggier and it's a bit cloud. You don't really get fog here, but you can imagine what there might be. Okay, so I'm going to do a little plan for my story first, and I'm just going to do the introduction, but obviously you guys could write as much as you want, and you'd be looking for at least a page of writing on this. So I'd want to be writing in the first person, so I'm going to be writing it from my perspective, so I'll be using lots of like I, me, etc. I'm going to write it in the past tense, so like I was doing, I had been, and short sentences. So I class short sentences as anything under 6 words, and if you do that, it means that you add a little bit of suspense to the story. So I'm going to have a go first. I'm going to plan it. So it's going to be I visit a theme park. When I get there, it's the weather's bad. I won't use the word bad, but just for the sake of the plan, I'll use that there. Because I visit a theme park, the weather is bad. I try an old roller coaster, and that's what I'm going to write about. But then it's about thinking, where will my story go from here? So maybe you try the roller coaster and it leads to another world. Maybe you try the roller coaster and it takes you back in time. Maybe you try the roller coaster and nothing strange happens, it just breaks down. Okay, so really think about what would happen once you try your roller coaster. So I'm going to have a look at my image. I've got it in my mind, I know what I'm doing. So I'll start writing my story. If I think of any great vocabulary, I'll highlight it for you so that you can get going. Okay, so fronted adverbial starter. Let's think. So I'll start in the past tense. So about 3 weeks ago, I visited, what should I call it? A theme park. I'll just call it something simple, Adventureland. I had been looking forward to it for months, and my mum let me take 2 of my best friends, and I'll just say Ben and Zara. Okay. When we arrived, so another fronted adverbial there, the park was nearly empty. I'm just going to add loads of detail here. So when we arrived, the park was nearly empty. It was a cold November day, and the clouds had come down to rest on the ground. So I'm just using a little bit of imagery there. I'm saying the clouds had come down. I'm saying it's foggy, it's murky, it's difficult to see. So that's why I've written here the clouds had come down and rest on the ground. I might just do a little bit of description of what it's like walking around. So I might say, walking around the park, I barely see more than 2 meters. Nope, spelled that wrong. 2 meters ahead of me. Mum let us wander off with the warning of... No. Mum let us wander as long as we checked in with her every hour. Okay, so I've started my story here. It's not bad. I'm just sort of setting the scene. I'll read it back and check that everything's going okay. So, about 3 weeks ago, I visited Adventureland. I've been looking forward to it for months, and my mum let me take 2 of my best friends, Ben and Sarah. When we arrived, fronted at the park was nearly empty. It was a cold November day, and I put a comma here to separate these 2 clauses, and the clouds had come down to rest on the ground. Walking around the park, I could barely see more than 2 meters ahead of me. Now, don't worry about the spelling, this is the English spelling, the British spelling rather, and I'll just put that there for you guys. Barely is a nice adverb there, so it means that you can hardly see ahead of me. And because I've just read this through, I can now put in here a little short sentence. It was so murky. And I've used that word of the day there as well. Mum let us wander as long as we checked in with her every hour. So I'm going to say, now I want to talk about where the roller coaster is leading. So, the roller coasters were where we, a little bit of alliteration there, were where we, the roller coasters were where we focused our attention. Add a little bit of information here with a dash. We didn't bother. Oh, I will spell it eventually. We didn't bother with the baby rides. A sign for the, now make up a name for my roller coaster. So it says here, well, it doesn't say anything, but I'll look at it. I think it's spiraling. It looks exciting, so I'm going to call it the spiral or something. Let's think. A sign for the spiral snake. So, you know, roller coaster might look a little bit like a snake, so you could say snake. You could say serpent. A sign for the spiral snake caught my eye, and so off we went. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, so that's the start of my story. You can see I've added lots of detail just to build it up, and I've probably got to about just before the main problem of the story. Alright, and what a lot of you need to be making sure is that you're making sure that you're writing enough detail to keep the reader's attention. So this story is going to be a little bit longer than the bit of writing that you might have done yesterday and the day before. Just have a go. Okay? It'd be lovely to see some excellent examples of these that I can put onto the website. Okay, yeah, Alright. Write well, do your best. I'll speak soon. Bye bye.